Multifamily Mindset
Podcast. Think bigger.
Hello, and welcome back, my friends, to another awesome episode of the Multifamily Mindset Podcast. I'm your hostess, Cyndi Maguire, better known as Cyndi. Show me the money, Maguire. I do wear a few hats around here. I'm a strategist at the Multifamily Mindset, seasoned real estate investor, co-founder of Gold Bar Partners, and mentor to many budding real estate enthusiasts. If you're new here, we're happy you found us, and super stoked to have you join our ever-expanding network. Whether you're looking for inspiration, practical advice, or just a good story, you've come to the right place. At the Multifamily Mindset Podcast, we serve up fresh content twice a week to keep you hooked and pumped. Every Tuesday, we get into some real talk with interviews featuring students from our network, sharing their journey and wisdom they've picked up along the way. Then on Thursdays, our mindset guru, Dallas Pruitt, breaks down the mindset magic from those stories. But wait, there's more. Wednesdays are all about Own the Outcome, a killer podcast hosted by the one and only Tyler Deveraux, the brains behind Multifamily Mindset. Tyler chats up top-tier individuals, digging into their journey to success and dropping some serious pearls of wisdom. So whether you're here for the knowledge, the inspiration, or just to soak up some expert insight, you're in the right place. Where every episode is your ticket to leveling up in the world of multifamily real estate. So let's get this party started. Today, we have a student of Multifamily Mindset, multifamily investor, founder of BVX Capital Investments, chef, artist, entrepreneur, husband, and father of five, coming all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. A big welcome to Demetrius Baxter. Hi, Demetrius.
What's up, Cyndi? How you doing, babe?
I'm doing awesome. I mean, when I see you, you always bring a big smile to my face.
Oh, thank you. We shared some of those before we started. We shared some of those anecdotes. You've always stayed very near and dear to my heart. You were one of the first people I talked to, like personally, one-on-one in multifamily. So you'll always be special to me.
Oh, thank you. You know why you're special to me? Because you're my kind of guy who works hard and plays harder.
Yes, that is a perfect way to explain me. About 100% all the way, all the time, 100 miles an hour, no quit. Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm excited to have you on this podcast. We've been talking through, we've kept in touch. I've been learning and hearing about your journey in multifamily investing. But first, I want you to share with the audience a little background about yourself.
Sure. So, I think the easiest way to go is I'm a Naval veteran. That's kind of where the story starts. I played football forever. I'm going to the Navy. Got out it's difficult for vets sometimes when they get out if you're not set up properly. So I had what I called a 7 years in Tibet is kind of the joke. I kind of dropped off the map. People couldn't really find me. I was kind of out, just kind of journeying, all across the West Coast and into Texas. And then I would say probably about 10, 11 years ago, of course, when I met my illustrious wife and business partner, Latina, who's not on with us today, but she's here around here doing boss stuff somewhere. But we really started to hone in our life. And right around the pandemic, we started a business venture and left Houston and came out to Phoenix. And that was going very well. You start making a lot of capital and you got to kind of figure out, what are we going to do? I'm not going to sit here and lose money in the bank from inflation. You got to plan for the future. We'd already had some small investments, but we always wanted to get into real estate. And I found MFM. And 2 years ago this month, we started, the first class, it was a third, first, second, third, I think were the dates. Yeah, it was a first, second, and third. And then, you run right into peak. Fast track was in February, and then it was peak right after that. So it was this 3-4 month of whirlwind. And we started immediately. I started placing investors, 250,000 in the first week. I had people locked in. We've been going ever since.
Well, you know what? You've been going. There's so many questions I want to ask you and just what you had to say. First, so you're in Houston. Are you originally from Houston?
No, I was born in the Bay Area in California, and then I grew up in Portland, Oregon.
Okay, go Bay Area.
Telling you, yay!
And so you were in Houston and you moved to Arizona for a new business.
Yeah.
Was that a startup?
No, we actually got with Amazon. We run an Amazon DSP, I should say. The boss lady runs Amazon DSP. I work for her. Okay, so but when you see the blue trucks, in our delivery area, that's us. We have our drivers. We're out there in Tempe, so we're literally right there at Arizona State University. I always wanted to go to Arizona State University, so it's a trip for me to see that every day when I'm going down there to check on the drivers and make sure we got stuff going. And like I said,
And why do I know you wanted to go to ASU? Is it because it's the best, like the well-known party school?
all my boys went to ASU. All my AAU basketball players that I played with the ASU. My boys from high school that weren't athletes with the ASU. Like my boys that I played football with the ASU. Yeah, it is. And back then, ASU actually they hadn't been good for a while. They were good during that time. They're good again, but it was absolutely knockdown drag. It was between Florida State and Arizona State, the two best party schools, and I partied at both. It's a long time ago. It's a long, long time ago, but I definitely partied at both.
Okay, and then you succeeded in your business, and then
Yeah.
you wanted to invest your profits and proceeds. And how'd you choose multifamily?
So that's funny. So I was looking at, I'm always forward thinking. I'm very entrepreneurial minded. I'm a chef by trade. So I came up in the restaurants and, with lack of hubris, I'll just say like, you get tired of being the smartest one in the room. And so I started running my own private chef company. So I had, NBA champions, World Series champions, NFL MVPs, a lot of NDAs, your favorite pop artists, CEOs, oil companies. I was in and out of their houses, codes, keys, all that stuff. So I'm always very business minded, entrepreneurial minded. And it was like, first I was looking at, no kidding, I was looking at a bourbon. I was looking at bourbon futures, right? And then I was like, I don't know about that. So I started looking at commercial multifamily, like strip malls, like new strip malls, new construction strip malls. Everything it has a Michaels and a Panda Express and a GameStop and a PetSmart and a grocery store and a big box store, right? I was looking at those, and then we were getting some work done on the house. We bought our house out here. We bought an older house, and we're putting all this work into it. And so everything was stripped to the bones. And it was like my mindset at the time was like kind of the same thing. It was kind of stripped to the bare bones, like mentally. Like I knew we needed to start making a move and do something, like it says in the background right there, bigger. I knew we needed to be bigger, especially for the long haul. And I had been researching stuff, and here's Tyler's face popping up, on my YouTube. I saw it 2 or 3 times. I was like, that's a really good idea. And then the third time, I saw it, I was like, yeah, and I registered. And the thing is with me, once I see something, it's done. So it's like the story is very hilarious. We go in to do the first 2-hour presentation with Todd, and I'm in the front row. And Latina had done her research, so she had asked some questions. Is it going to cost this? Are you going to sell us something else?
Sounds like Latina.
No, we were in and out within. It's a 2-hour thing. We were in and out within 15 minutes. We signed up, boom, boom, paid right there. We had dinner reservations. Like I don't have time to be sold. I'm ready to go. And then same thing. We got to the 3-day, and we knew it was coming. And so boom, $39,999. It pops up. With Tyler, I think it's within the first. I think the first water break you go on, that would pop up on screen. And I was like, we're done. Like, Eric Chatterton was our strategist. I had talked to DJ. I had talked to you. I had talked to Jim Bone, who I've continued to do business with since then. It's very funny. But all these people in the room, we had these conversations. We were sold. I think we were one of the first.
Hey, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to the MFM podcast. We truly appreciate your support and hope you're enjoying the insights from our incredible guests. We have one small favor to ask. Please leave us a review and rating. Your feedback means the world to us. And to show you our appreciation, we're giving away some great prizes to some lucky listeners who leave us a review. So scroll down, share your thoughts, and help us continue to bring valuable content. Thanks, and back to the show.
We're probably one of the first couple or first people to get, to pay for it like that day. It was day
Demetrius, you're a smart, creative entrepreneur, and we get a lot of those students showing up to our events saying, I could do this myself. I'm smart. I could figure this out. And I mean, I feel like you could have been those that would say the same thing, but like right away, you're like, I'm signing up. We're doing this. What made you feel you needed or wanted that help or to be part of the network?
One thing that I say continually, and I say this all the time, I'm smart enough to know that I don't know shit. Like That's one thing I tell people all the time. Like, am I intelligent? Yes. Am I capable? Yes. You need to have in an endeavor. If you're going to go climb a mountain, okay, you can say, "Hey, I can climb. I can buy the gear. I can train. I can get everything I need to go." And I'm gonna go. And we're talking a real mountain, a K2, an Everest, something. You can go do that. You can definitely go do that. If you don't have a support system, you don't have something to assist you. You don't have a guide. You don't have Sherpas. You're screwed. You're not going to succeed. You can walk. You can be the greatest athlete. I've seen some of the greatest athletes up close. I've fed some of the greatest athletes. I mean, to where we're counting their calories. I'm hearing them talk at the end of games. I'm hearing their frustrations. They can't do it alone. And I'm talking some of your favorite guys, and I've been there with them at 2, 3 in the morning, on flights with them, on private flights, and you're talking, and like, I can't do, yeah, you can't do it alone. You need to go to a team that's going to support you. And then those guys go to teams that support them and they win. You have to have a support system around you in anything that you do to make sure that you're successful. You need to have people that you can talk to, people that have made the mistakes already that you're going to make that can keep you from making them, people that are going to hold you accountable and keep you on track. I mean, there are steps to success. And one of the first steps to success that you have that is going to be most important is you cannot do it alone. I don't raise these kids by myself. I had all these ideas for the house. Like, I wish I could show you. I'm in the kitchen right now. As a chef, I had a very specific idea of a kitchen. As a mother of 5 children, she had a very specific vision of what we needed for storage. So these things had to come together. Yeah, we could have tore down these walls ourselves. How stupid would we look trying to reroute plumbing? I didn't know anything about underwriting. I didn't know anything about, how to research an MSA. I didn't even know what an MSA was. I didn't understand. There's all these terms, all these things. You got to have a support system to make you successful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember when I first did my first flip, I was like, I could do it. I know how to use tools. I'm an engineer. I'm smart enough. And I did it, but I
Yeah.
absolutely did not enjoy it. I said, nope, next time I'm hiring a GC, I'm just
Yeah.
going to tell them what to do and then keep my nails looking pretty.
Amen, baby. Amen. Well, then the other thing too is you want to one of the secrets to success is the shortest distance between 2 points. Okay, which is going to be how can I get there easier? It's infinitely easier to join a group that has the support and the education and the integrity and the character of MFM and go from A to B than it is for me to go in circles and waste 5 to 6 years. It's like like when I was in the Navy, right? I was basically an electrical engineer. I'm not going to get into it, but instead of going to school for 4 years and then apprenticeship for 2 years, it's 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night for a year and a half, and then boom, you're done. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, you're cramming everything in, but you can take your time with it because you have assistance. Same concept.
I say the same thing, almost verbatim. The shortest point from point A to point B is a straight line.
Yeah.
And when I talk to a lot of these students, we understand their starting point and their end point. And of course, from point A to point B, if you live in Houston, the
Woo.
shortest route is the tollways.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
And it cost me $7 to get to the airport, but I get there in 30 minutes shorter time than taking the free streets.
Oh God, I lived on that. Let me tell you a quick note. I lived on that tollway. All my clients spread out all over the city, the studio that I was a part of, the record label I was a part of, where the kids went to school, where my ex-wife was, where we had to drop off kids. I mean, the tollway was the secret. Tollway was the secret. That those 45s and I-10s and side streets. Nah, you can have that. You can have that.
Yeah, and I'm willing to pay $7 to not miss my flight.
just take it out automatically. I don't even stop at the toll. I go right through, easy tag.
No brainer. Okay, so almost 2 years ago, you joined the MFM network and mentorship. Yeah. Tell me about this journey.
It's not, number one, it's been fun as hell. I'll be very clear, first and foremost. No journey is going to come without struggle and strife. You're going to have scrapes, you're going to have boo-boos, you're going to have issues, you're going to have obstacles you have to overcome. This has definitely been full of that. Has definitely been one of the most rewarding things to get to the point where we're at now, where we're going to close out this year at, just over 23 million AUM, which is amazing. And thank you very much. Yeah, we've definitely been, But in getting there, like we had talked about kind of before we went on, I have been partnered with a lot of groups. We were kind of going one way. We had a partnership where we were doing everything very vertically integrated, right? As a Navy guy, as a chef, as an efficient, father, like we do everything, kind of in a straight line again, right? So we were very vertically integrated. There was there was a situation where that partnership had to dissolve. So we were kind of found ourselves kind of lost in the water there, but we just kind of kept going. And people saw our work ethic and our capability and what we were able to do. And so it was, man, I think the first deal we put out there, the first time we went to go sign on a deal, put in the LOI, we kind of got laughed away from the table. It was very early. It was the first year. It was April the first year. So I maybe been in for 6 months, 5 months. That company, those sellers, those brokers came back to us. We'd offered 4.2. They wanted 4.5. They came back, or 4.4. They wanted 4.5. So over $100,000, they're ready to fight us. Like, nope, laughing us off the table. Came back in June and we're like, hey, that 4.4 will work. Like, hey, yesterday's price ain't today's price. And so we went through that 3 or 4 times, got very close, couldn't squeeze 200,000 from a sponsor here, missed out on a property, almost had a property here, couldn't get best and final there. Like, so you have those 3, 4, 5 times. And then, like I said, that partnership dissolved. And
Yeah,
so,
I remember we kept
yeah,
in contact that whole time, and I knew your whole team and just the underwriting, the LOIs, this deal, that deal, it didn't work out. This one looks good. It didn't work out. We're raising, that didn't come out. I was
yeah,
just, and
yeah,
I was just, you were like one of the most persistent and resilient guy I know in this in our network that just kept going. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've had students of MFM want to quit just in the first month because they
sure.
think I don't have my team, or I can't find any deals. And I asked,
Yeah.
well, how many deals did you underwrite for?
5. Yeah. No, we got to a point. I opened up the computer one time and I was looking at it when that partnership dissolved. Um, and that was amicable. And I'll get into other ones that weren't so amicable without naming names. I mean, that happens as well. But I was looking through, we had underwritten, that would have been the first 9 months. The first 9 months, first 9, 10 months, we underwrote over 317 deals. Like
317?
17. It was 317. It was, and because it was, I was so good at getting them. And then my partner, the other team was so good at underwriting them that we had the process. The first one took us like 2 months, right? After we cracked that, it was, and nope, this one ain't gonna work. Nope, that's not gonna work. Nope, that's gonna and thank God those deals didn't work, right? Because the last thing you want to do is get in a bad deal. That will
Absolutely.
destroy your name, your reputation, your business, people's finances. That's a whole other thing in and of itself. But once we got to that space where it was like, okay, now what do we do? I'm so good with people. I'm a communicator, right? Latina's a communicator. We're people, right? And so people, like you said, people kept seeing us. There was a point where people were like, oh, we thought you guys quit. And like made us laugh, like quit. Like, first of all, there's no quit. Like if we're flying in the plane and the wings tear off the plane, like I'm gonna stick my arms out the plane and we're gonna fly. And so when I hear quit and I hear people get discouraged, nothing in life that's worth doing is going to be easy. It is going to be. I'm a big athlete guy, a big Tom Brady guy. I'm a big Jordan guy. Like you watch The Last Dance, Michael wasn't always having fun. Those guys weren't having fun. That's hard. That's hard work. It's hard work. So even to be where we're at now, the journey doesn't stop. Like we go even harder now. There's been in the last month, I think we've done 425,000 with another 300,000 soft in the last month. So it's Christmas. I had cash come in yesterday. I'll have cash come in tomorrow. I have calls today. Like Christmas is on Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, right? Like Wednesday. I'll be working up until Monday. Then I'll let people chill and let them enjoy themselves. We kick back off again on Friday. Got to get back. I'm sorry. We're going to be on vacation. I get back Monday. Boom, you'll be back at it for that next week, right? And like there has to be a moment where you, as an individual, have to take the responsibility for what your goals are. there has to be a moment where you have to look in the mirror and go, I am that mother. I am him.
I think
I am
also you have to make sacrifices and make the kind of changes that require sacrifices. Just
absolutely.
as I had one student ask me, how do I juggle my time with my wife and working on this business? And I said, they just have to support you and know that you have to work on this for a few years in order to get financially free. But when you spend time with them, it has to be purposeful.
Yeah.
And some people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. And I think it's crazy because the reward is amazing.
The reward, it's so much deeper than fiduciary, right? It's so much deeper than that. When you wake up and you're on, because what you're on is you're on an everlasting team project. You know what I mean? That it's like high school, but the project never ends, right? We meet up, I mean, I come and see you guys whenever you're in town. Or we meet up once a year. So
I do appreciate that.
Oh, I gotta come see my people. You guys are my people. Like really, really. It's truly look, here's the thing about the network. I hate to go off on a tangent. When you surround yourself with like-minded people, and I mean, and then you start to really whittle down the people within the people, and you get your own little core group. You don't have, and I'm this type of person, I don't have to call you every day, see you every day. If I see you 2-3 times a year, if I shoot a text or a DM 2 or 3 times a year, your people, you will move the same way. You will move towards the same goals, even if you're not on the same projects. If you look at artists, the best artists in the industry hang out with the other best artists in the industry, the best creatives. The best, most successful athletes hang out with the best, they train with each other, they work with each other. The best mechanics, the best directors, the best actors, the best people in tech. You look at the little circles and the groups that you want to be around like-minded people. And that's really the depth of value from the network comes from. That's why I always look forward to peak. First peak was like mind-blowing. Like, oh my God, like everybody's here. Like, what's going on? Like, you have to take it in. Second peak was like, got it. Now it's like, this peak gonna be like, yo, what you doing? What y'all doing? What you got? You start figuring it out,
In 4
You
months.
gotta build those relationships.
4 months
Yeah,
is
I can't
peak.
wait.
And you'll be walking across the stage.
Yes, for multiple things. Yes, I need multiples. I told Tyler at the first peak, he had told a story about coaching the football team, and one of his players was having a bad game, was very frustrated. And he talked to his, hey man, you're gonna score 3 touchdowns, relax. And he scores 3 touchdowns. So later that night at the luau, I told Tyler, I said, when I coach, I will cross the stage to get 3 statues. Like, I promise you. I promise you. And he was like, all right, let's see. Well, we might cross with 4. We'll see. But we're definitely crossing with 3. Let me tell you.
That's awesome. I love that. So now
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, I'm going to dive deeper in what you had said previously. And I haven't really touched on this topic with many of my guests, but tell me about the challenges of partnerships and what you've had.
It is. Let's just think about one of the greatest partnerships you can have, right? A marriage, right? I'm always very open about my life, right? I am a divorcee, right? Latina's my second wife, and I'm telling you right now, if Latina goes to Mars, I'm going in her carry-on baggage. Like, there's no way. You understand me? Like, she don't go nowhere without me.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. She's amazing.
I'm telling you. But, you got to think how important that partnership is, right? So then what would be your next most important, like, think about the effort that you put in, because you all know that's work, right? So what would your next level of partnership be important, of importance be? It would be your business partnerships and your business relationships. Your character has to align. Your integrity has to align. I believe there's a verse in the good book talking about being evenly yoked in a marriage. It's the same thing in a partnership. Now, that doesn't mean each and every time, you say, well, I want to have cheeseburgers tonight. Well, then I would love to have cheeseburgers. I would love to have Kool-Aid to drink. I would love to have Kool-Aid. No, somebody's going to want some champagne. Somebody's going to want some vodka. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you can put the vodka and the Kool-Aid together.
You can put the vodka and the champagne together. That's another conversation. But yeah, literally, there's going to be times where people are going to want to go left, you're going to want to go right. Those things happen. We'll work through those obstacles. But what's most important is the root of those relationships. If you're the type of person, and I am, my wife is, that people are attracted to your orbit, you have to be very selective about who you let in and how you let them in. Doesn't mean you need to be standoffish, but if we're going to go into business and we're going to risk millions of dollars of people's hard-earned income, that is a responsibility that needs to be taken extremely seriously. Mm-hmm. Your character, your integrity, your ethics need to be aligned. We've had people that we thought we were going to be very close with that blew up very ceremoniously. We've had people that we thought we were going to be very close with that dissolved very unceremoniously. We've had people that we thought we were going to be aligned with that just didn't want to go the lengths that we were willing to go. Still very cool with those people. But if you're going to go all the way to the touchdown, to the end zone, to the completion, we're gonna go from, you know, the accepting of the contract all the way to disposition. We're gonna raise all the money. We're gonna manage the asset. Each one of these apartment complexes is its own business. We're gonna do that. We're gonna be married for 5 years. There's a situation.
That's how I see it. Actually, yeah. I see it as co-parenting. So you may not necessarily be married, but you share a child together, and you have to be able to manage that.
Absolutely. And there's, like I said, there's a situation we're in right now where it's just, that's not happening in a very positive way. And that is a struggle to get through. It has nothing to do with us. I mean, let me tell you one thing that's also about us. If there's ever anything about us that we're the cause of anything, we'll be the first ones to raise our hand and say, hey, we screwed that up. Right. So anything that I speak on from, a place of honesty and integrity. But there's a situation right now where it's not going so well on the other end with the partnership. And you got to manage that. And now I sit back and I look and I say, the one lesson that kept getting shown to me the whole time over these last 2 years was be very patient and selective with your partnerships. This business is based on relationships.
100%.
Capital from, whether it's the brokers that you're talking to, can you trust your underwriter? Can you trust the other partners in the business? Is everything on the up and up? There's a phrase that I heard from one of our colleagues, I'll open the kimono. He said, I'll open the kimono. And I thought to myself, that's genius, because you really have to, it's not just going to dinner and having drinks and getting a buzz and getting in the Uber and being like, we had such a good time. How do you behave when things go wrong? How do you behave when you have adversity? Are you patient? Are you kind? Do you play the blame game? Are you somebody who's looking for a solution instead of arguing about the problem? These are all integral things that go into these relationships. And like I said, it's not just your business partners. It goes out to your brokers, your investors. There's something to be said about, I go to a lot of dinners. I'm around that world all the time. I love to see how people treat bartenders, servers. Is the kitchen open? Do they talk to the cooks? How do they tip the valet? Because we're all of different tax brackets, right? But we're all on the level. We're all just people. Yes. So how do you know? That's a good indicator. Just little things like that: character, integrity, ethics, huge. And these relationships are everything.
I absolutely agree with you. Even when I go to restaurants, the hostess, I know their name.
Yeah.
I know. If the server doesn't introduce themselves and tell me their name, or they don't have a name tag, I'll ask them what their name is. Yeah. And I actually introduce myself to them all the time and everyone at the table. And all my friends think I'm weird. And I said, we're gonna spend at least 1 or 2 hours with this person. Yeah. Why not?
Well, and the other thing too is, and like I said, this is definitely on the. I'm investor relations is definitely where investor relations, market research, but it's where what you're speaking comes into play with like our investors. You're going to spend 5 years with hundreds of thousands or millions of their dollars. We might want to know, where do you live? Where do you work? What kids are in dance? What kid is in college? Do you like the Buffalo Bills or the Miami Dolphins? How is the other businesses going? Like, how is your anniversary? Like, here's a Christmas card. Like, it's deeper than just, oh, got your money, good to go. It's deeper than, yeah, I'll have it mid-rare. Thanks. Goodbye, Stephanie. Like, you need to ingratiate yourself and with people. You know, you need to become ingrained in their patterns to be
Well,
good at.
I like my investors to know that, I mean, they literally are our partners.
Yes,
So how do
absolutely,
partners treat partners? Like,
absolutely, absolutely.
partner, right? And I mean, I'm the same way. You have had multiple partners. That sounds kind of funny
I have.
in, in business. No, I've had a lot of partners in business, and I meet a lot of people, and they're like, "What's your criteria?" Or "Can I partner with you?" And I said, "I've got three boxes that I need to check off. One, I need to like you.
Yeah,
So I have to like them. Two, they have to have the same work ethics as I do, which includes, working your ass off, taking ownership, having integrity, doing what you say you're going to do. And
yeah,
then third, I have to be able to have fun with them.
yeah.
Because if I can't have fun with them, gosh, these meetings are going to bore me to death. And this is a relationship I'm going to have for 3 to 7 years
Yeah,
in general. So
right.
I know a lot of people who don't want to partner because they've been burnt. They just don't trust anyone. What would you say to those people who think they could take down a multifamily property and not partner?
I would say it's even deeper than that. That would make me question and wonder, did you go on a bad date before? Has anybody ever been mean to you before? Like, do you not want to have any more friends? Do you never want to try to get a life partner? Do you, was a little kid mean to you one time and now you don't ever want to have kids? Like it makes me, it's like it becomes deeper than just multifamily. Look, we'll just say right now, unless you are rolling in the deepest of deepest pockets, and even when you are rolling in the deepest of deepest pockets, you cannot take down a multifamily asset by yourself. You can go get a sixplex. You can go get 10 units, maybe you could swing 20, 25. But when you start talking about 96, 150, 200, 300, no, you couldn't do that alone anyway. So if you're going to be in this business, you're going to have to get out of your own way. You're going to have to realize there are good people out here. I had a very good friend of mine. I was at a place in life probably 7 years ago where I was very distrusting of people. I had a lot of people die really, really quickly that were very close to me in different situations in life. I had some people, make some bad decisions that got taken away from all of us. I was just in a very not trusting of people place. And I was getting out of his car one night and he kind of was damn near yelling at me. He was like, who hurt you? There are good people in the world, Demetrius. Demetrius Baxter, there are good people in the world. And like he really like caught me off guard. And that changed my whole outlook on life and on people. Same thing. It wasn't like I said, first peak, it was like, this is so many people. I don't know the business. I don't know how why am I even in these conversations? Let me just soak it in. That by the time you get to the second, you're spending all that time all year talking to people and trying to find out who you can trust. People are going to show their ass. And there's no other way to say it. There's plenty of people out here who are out for themselves. There are plenty of people out here who aren't going to share the core values just of life that you have. There's bad people at every turn, but there's great people right next to those bad people too. It becomes incumbent upon yourself to make those decisions. And the only way you can make those decisions is to go on those business dates. You
Yeah.
gotta feel people out.
Well, the
You
nice
have
thing
to
is when you do find these good people, like these really good people, they're going to be friends for a lifetime.
for a
Like
lifetime.
whether you
Well,
continue to do business or not to do business, you'll be friends for a lifetime.
yeah, you have got to, anybody who doesn't want to partner, to boil it all down, if you don't want to partner, you're going to fail. In this business, if you do not want to partner, you're going to fail. It is impossible. I have a very high IQ and I speak very highly of myself. But no, I'm a very intelligent person. You get me in front of underwriting and those spreadsheets start to, like, it's like I'm not good at dominoes, right? Great at spades, not good at dominoes. The dots start to dance around like I can't, you know what I mean? But there's some people that are so good at that, but they don't like to talk to people. Right. And so, like, there you go. Boom. You're yinning and you're yanning, you're yinning and yanning, and
Yes.
boom, we're moving forward. Yeah. You've got to partner with people. You
Yeah.
got to break that cycle.
I like finding people that complement my talents and I can
Absolutely.
complement theirs.
Absolutely.
So So I know we have had some time, and I want to wind down so that this doesn't go. I mean, you and I can talk for
We could go.
days,
Yeah,
days.
we could go. We could go.
But as we start this new year, what advice would you give our listeners in setting goals in multifamily investing or in entrepreneurship or
Yeah.
anything for this next year?
It's one word: perseverance. Perseverance. You are going to hit the wall. You're going to hit the gate. You're going to hit the rock. You're going to come up on the mountain. The bottom's going to drop out from under you. You're going to be in front of a sinkhole. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to think that you're not good enough. Someone else is going to be in your way. I mean, this is going to persevere, persevere, persevere. Believe in yourself and persevere. And I promise you, if you're doing everything with integrity and character and using ethics and realizing that you do have karma in this world, okay, there is a such thing as karma. Persevere, persevere. Do not stop. Do not stop.
When you're in the sinkhole, you got shit all over your face. Just keep going.
Learn to love it. Learn to love it. We were doing, I was in the Navy. I wasn't a Navy SEAL or anything like that, but we were in the Navy and we were doing PT in Pensacola, Florida, on base, running in the water, because like we were right there on the beaches right there. Where like I would walk out my barracks room, the beach is right there. So we're like in the water running, then we're in the sand running. Then we're sitting in the water doing sit-ups and push-ups, then we're doing them on the sand. And the guy is screaming at us and he goes, learn to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You're in the hole, you got the shit on your face, learn to enjoy it. Learn to, because at least the first time I had a conversation about a $10 million asset, I thought that I was Warren fucking Buffett. I thought I was Jay-Z himself. I was like, I got off the phone and I was like, and I'm talking having the conversation and really knowing the ins and outs and having the conversation that, you know,
It's
I was
exciting.
like, having these conversations. You're in it. Like you're playing the game. Not everybody's playing this game. People are clocking in 9 to 5 right now. You're playing the game. Be excited. Love it. Learn to get uncomfortable and enjoy that shit and persevere.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving meeting absolutely amazing people like you and Latina. Next time she's coming on, we're gonna have to do a part 2 with you
I'm
two.
down.
And
Really, what you need to do is you need to do it with her. Before we do it together, can she hear? She's downstairs. You need to do it. We need to do it with her. Because when you get her alone, she doesn't like to talk about herself. I'm very much the face. She's very much what we say is the brains. But then you put her in front and let that flower open. Man, it's a beautiful experience.
I mean, we do know where the brains lay in your family. I mean, they don't call her boss lady for nothing.
Easy. I am the face and the muscle. That's it. That is it. That is the boss lady right there.
She's the brains and you're the beauty, although I think she's got both.
No, she's definitely the brains and the beauty. I'm just the brawn. The brawn. I'm just the brawn.
Love it. Love it. Well, Demetrius, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming on with me today. And those that are tuning in today, we hope you enjoyed our episode with Demetrius. And please join us again for more stories, insights, and inspiration. Until then, keep thinking bigger and get better every day.
Persevere.
Ciao. Thank you.
Multifamily Mindset Podcast. Think bigger.